welcome in to another episode of Third and Teal. I'm Isaiah, as always, coming on. I'm going to do one thing I haven't done for any of the episodes because I keep forgetting. A lot of you guys are checking out our content now, and you're not subscribed, and you should be, because we're the best Jags pod out there with three or more people. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where we may be the only one, but we're the best one. So like and subscribe, share. If you know Jags fans, I know you know some Jags fans, whether they're closeted or not. Slip it under the door to them. I don't care. Send them the link. Let's get this stuff popping. Thanks for all the views we've been getting lately. A lot of love. We've been growing quick.
Yeah.
And maybe if we hit a certain goal this month, I might give out a free ticket for a game later this season to be able to visit and join with one of us. But we'll see. If we hit 200 by the end of the month, I might set a subscriber goal for one of the home games. We'll see. So, Trevor, how you doing?
Well, I'm ingesting what you just said, and I love it personally.
Yeah.
I think one other thing to go along with that. I know I'm going to be dropping a bombshell on the guys here for a second. We've discussed it, but we've never actually officially said we're going to do it. Like we said, we're going to do it, just not when. Be on the lookout, because with stuff like that comes social media pages. Go follow. They will be up by the end of the week. I can assure you that. By the end of this week, we will have TikTok and we will have an Instagram. Facebook, debatable, because that's really grandparents' app now. We kind of look at it, but we'll see. But by the end of the week, Third and Teal will have an Instagram and a TikTok page where we'll be reposting some of the content from the show that you may miss. We might post some exclusive content and definitely be posting more details to the prize that Isaiah just offered you. So,
yeah, potentially. We'll see. Y'all gotta be good.
Like and subscribe. Thank you guys for real, because the views and the love we've been getting is insane. Shout out Alex. You guys know why, but shout out. And that's all I got to say about that.
And Eric, let me look this way. That's the right way, but I'm looking. How you doing?
All right. I'm doing all right. Hey, look, between the two of y'all, man, only thing I can offer y'all, man, is a belly dance. That's
Hey, what? Hey, y'all better get Eric the subs, man. Belly dance.
Hey, because that's all I can do for you.
Putting in work.
Yeah, I'm doing good, y'all. I'm doing good. Hey, y'all get out there, subscribe, hit them pages up. Let's make this thing rock and roll like we always do. We lead. We lead from the front, not the back. Let's make it happen, y'all. Yeah, but I'm doing good. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Hell yeah.
A week away from football again.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're there.
Game where we'll see nobody playing, but football's on TV.
Yeah. Football will be on TV. It's been good. We're excited. Camp has looked better than a lot of people think it has, and worse than a lot of people think it has. I mean, it's just I don't think you can get too high or too low off of a couple of days of camp, especially the first couple of days of camp. I know that preseason's coming up, but we probably won't even see most of our starters in the first game. If we do, it's going to be very limited. We kind of just get right into it. We got some clarification. I don't know if you guys took this as exactly what was going on or what, but apparently the reason the offense looked so bad last week to start the week, especially in the red zone, they were only running like 5 or 6 plays, and the defense was basically just scheming them up and reacting to it. They were just trying to get different looks from the defense on those 5 or 6 plays. I feel like that's about as deep as our red zone playbook was anyways last year. 5 or 6 plays. It's they still hit some good ones. They still had some good routes, some good catches. Josh Cephas has been working close with Trevor in different periods. We got a lot of guys out there that are playing well. Dudes are looking good. Christian Kirk's looking fast. Parker Washington's looking good. But our defense got the best of them early in the week. But what do you guys think about that? Y'all think that's the truth, or do you think that they're just trying to blow some smoke and do some smoke blowing on us to make us believe that's the truth?
Man, it's training camp. It's training camp.
Perfect.
It is training camp. This is the first opportunity that, this is our first episode since we started uploading the training camp footage that we got.
Yep.
So I'll give you guys what I saw, my own eyes, witnessed it, watching it happen live. They are not blowing smoke when they say they were running the same 5 plays. Because when they were running skeletons by themselves on one field while the defense is on the other field, they were running those plays again and again. It was actually so repetitive on that field. Basically, Doug said it was installing some new plays. They could have done it in a better way, he said, but the same point got across. So it was still successful. It wasn't wasted time. But essentially, I noticed it because I know that, a couple of fans in the bleachers along with me noticed. So if any of you guys are watching, drop a comment and attest to what I'm saying. They did a cool swing motion, and I won't describe the whole play because I know some of you bastards on our pod are watching from other teams, and I don't want you to feel like you know something. It's not going to make any help to your team, but just because I said so. Anyway, did a cool swing motion play. And when I saw it come live in the 11 on 11, I knew exactly what was happening. I knew the play that was happening. So, what makes you think the defense wouldn't happen? I mean, these guys are practicing with them all day long. If I knew the play that was coming, they absolutely did. So you got to think. This is why I wore this jersey today. Salute to service, but more recognizes our soldiers. You know what I mean? Trevor Lawrence was an absolute soldier. Everyone's hating on the fact that he had poor performance throughout the first few days. I will say I watched some inaccuracies on his part. All right, like he threw a couple balls a little bit too far ahead, a little bit behind, but he's since cleaned those up. It's early in training camp. All right. But that being said, he has cleaned those up. But all things considered, for the stats they were putting up and the catches that were being done against a defense that already knew what was coming. Do you know how hard it is to play a team that already knows what's coming? That's why sign stealing is illegal, people. You're overreacting about nothing. Because then as soon as they started going through an offense when the defense didn't know what was going on, Trevor Lawrence was perfect. 17 for 17. Actually, stat line was 16-17, but that was because one was a drop. So I'm not counting that against Trevor. It's not his fault. So you think of it this way, essentially from a quarterback standpoint, dude was fucking perfect. He was an ace. Multiple touchdowns, good passes, no interceptions. I mean, what are you hating for? Literally, I mean, it's like we have two fan bases here in Duval. You got the people that truly love the team. You got the people that love the team until they do something that they think is bad, and then they just blow up on themselves.
That part right there.
Reading the clip from Mia O'Brien herself, strong period of one-on-ones for Trevor Lawrence, including an eye-popping catch for Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, I mean, you look. There's one. The only other one he threw that was a pick. All right, Christian Braswell picked it off of Kirk. Kirk's a little small. Braswell just kind of oversized him a little bit. That was a play. I mean, but outside of the miscue, Trevor Lawrence was much sharper. I can continue. I'm trying to find the other clip I had, or the other the thing I had. But either way, I mean, he was 16 of 17, guys. What more do you want from him?
Much more.
Of course, he
makes. How come he not win the Super Bowl in training camp?
Yeah. He makes what, $250 million? Yes, he should be picking up the field, carrying it on his back with everybody in it across the goal line. He should be throwing rockets. Not near ball should hit the ground.
Never once.
Not like he can throw it and run and catch it at the same time, But yeah, he's got to be perfect. And like you said, Trevor, we have those fans there, and you kind of question, are they really fans? They just look for any little bitty thing to go wrong, and they're going to jump on it. And then maybe, again, that is a product of what has been put out on the field for so long that people just automatically understand, expect it. However, it's training camp, people. There's going to be ups and downs. Everybody's trying to get this. And then if you're going to notice here pretty soon, you're going to see more of the third and fourth stringers out there because they're the ones who fighting for jobs. So, yeah. So just calm down. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, there was some breaking news that I hope you guys heard about. Anabolic Key. I'm sorry, Arden PED. Arden Key, the man who built Jacksonville. There wouldn't be a team in Jacksonville without old anabolic PED there. Suspended 6 games for taking drugs, and I wonder if he had the same pharmacist as Danico Autry, who was also suspended for PEDs. You gotta know. I mean, Arden, Autry claims that his pharmacist mixed up his medication, and that's what caused it. Sure, buddy. Arden Key, haven't seen anything from him, so I don't really give a shit. He built Jacksonville and left, and I'm glad he did because we wouldn't be anywhere without Arden Key. And then he did absolutely nothing against us last year with the Titans. And he realized that, oh, wait, when I'm not a rotational pass rusher that only sees 200 snaps a year, I'm not very good. We just literally signed Arden Key by signing Rasheem Green, who's going to be a solid pass rusher, who's going to come in for maybe 200-300 snaps in the year. Of course, if he makes the roster, I think he will. I think he's a good pickup. I think he'll make a push for either our number 3 or number 4 roster spot in terms of pass rushers on the DN position, where they're kind of going to be lining up Walker and all these guys. It'll be interesting to see between Travis Gibson, and him who kind of edges the other out. But yeah, I mean, it's, you can build Jacksonville in a season, but you can't take that success somewhere else. That's all I'm going to say. It's kind of like that Julian Edelman clip we had. It's like he's got a great work ethic. So great he had to take steroids. Anyways, so we did add some signings. Tanner Muse. We had Rasheem Green. I know right before camp we had Denzel Mims. We haven't seen Rasheem Green and Tanner Muse yet. Those are going to be some solid guys that can rotate in at least. Rasheem Green may get some actual pass rush snaps. Tanner Muse is probably going to be a special teams guy. That's what he's mainly been, but he's a linebacker. My thoughts are they potentially brought him in because Ventrell Miller limped off the field the other day and has not seen return to camp practice as far as I'm aware in a full capacity. So they could be there could have been something with his foot, got him on the x-ray machine, and there's something going on there. Don't know yet. Don't want to speculate. Just saying it was right after that. But of course, we're going to be picking up people, dropping people for the next couple of weeks repeatedly. What do you guys done any research on these guys? What do y'all think's going on with that, and kind of what it?
Speaking of picking up and dropping people, one of those people I can say, you briefly touched on him earlier, and we predicted this from the start that he will make the 53. Joshua Cephas is absolutely making the 53.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you that right now. Like, I saw him physically. I watched him move on my own eyes. I watched it. All right. The guy he's different. I'm telling you that guy is different. All right.
We also don't bring him over to work individual reps with Trevor Lawrence in the red zone either. Like, yeah. Sorry. I'm not trying to steal your thunder.
No, you're right. You're right.
Isaiah shaved his beard.
But
yeah, not intentionally. People forget I'm beautiful under that big old thick long luscious beard. I'm a good looking guy. I got a little bit extra weight right here, but I still got a little bit of a jawline. You can't see it, but I do this myself normally.
Shut up.
She went a little low on the sideburns. Asked her to take it down just a little bit because it doesn't look good if you got sideburns down here and then 7 inches of beard sticking out.
True that.
And so then she went zoop and then left this long. And so I had 5 inches in the front and 0 inches on the sides, and I was like, can't do that. So I was like, it looks great, and then I went home and took the rest off myself because I wanted to have a beard still, not quite whatever was going on there. So that's one thing. That's not how I meant to share that. There we go.
Yeah, I was just about to bring this up too, though. In the clip, he talks about the guy that Trevor Lawrence is and how he was excited to be here. But I do want to touch on a couple more things before you roll the clip. Thank you for bringing it.
Let me unshare and I'll play it when you're ready.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good.
Cephas, in the stands, this is how you know that we've got something here. Okay, he's not on our active roster through the app. So if you didn't grab a piece of paper that they had for everybody participating at the gate, Cephas is not on the app. He is not on our active roster as of now. Okay. So you wouldn't know. He's just out there running around, some guy running around in number 19 if you don't know who he is, if you don't already know. I cannot tell you, I couldn't count the amount of who's that in number 19. That guy is fast, or that guy is physical, or holy crap, did you see 19? Did you see this, that? I told everybody I could tell. That is Joshua Cephas, and that guy is different, okay? Not only is he just different, but the plays he's making, I can tell you for a fact, he's very good one-on-one contested. He's taking it. It's not like a 50-50. It's like a 99-1. Dude, he's insane. His catch radius is otherworldly. I mean, stupid insane. So if you're ready, we can roll
excited and tingly and stuff. Stop.
Right. I just want to let y'all know that man's playing like the Bills are due. All right.
Okay, that got me all tingly, man.
Yeah, too,
Like,
they put
oh
on
my
pads.
God.
And he's still doing it in pads too. He has some good
Yeah.
contested catches down the field that were reported. Mio O'Brien, who we're about to watch now here too. But we have had some good commentary coming out to him, and BTJ been making some good plays down the field. Now that pads are on and they're playing physical. Of course, everybody wants to be like, oh, missing, where, wanted, BTJ. Shut up.
Exactly.
Bro, it's camp.
And it's
Stephon,
red zone. We're talking in the red zone in this period. He's a burner. He's a deep threat. He's not a red zone go up and get it threat. Now he's big, but come on.
No, I mean he did that at LSU. I'm not going to take that from him, but I mean I know what you're saying. It's that he was brought in to stretch the field. But let's get this out of the way. Let's see.
I literally just told him the other day. I was like, bro, I said, Trevor, can I shake your hand? And he was like, what? Like, yeah, like you can shake my. So I shook his hand. I was like, I used to watch you like on Elite 11. Like that's crazy. And he was just like, yeah, like that was years ago. But man, Trevor's a great guy. You know what I'm saying? Very, very down to earth. A lot of people would think that these big names in the NFL would probably have egos or pride or they're prideful, but he's very down to earth, a good guy. Our relationship on the field is pretty well. If I don't know something, I'll ask, he'll tell me, and I'll execute it. He'll come tell me what I need to do better if there's something I could do better in detail or just stuff like that. We have a great relationship.
Now, if that doesn't tell you he's making the 53 by itself, you don't know ball and you don't know what the front office is looking for in a team guy. Okay. That guy's making the 53 if you don't even watch his tape, because you could tell if Trevor's taking the time to put the time into him, he sees something. All right. So you don't have to see the tape to know that guy's making it. But then when you put that with the tape, holy shit. Like that's the best thing I can say. Like he is really that good. I'm not saying that he would have went top 5 in a draft, you know what I'm saying? But like he is very good. He's very good.
I mean, there's a reason he was in PFF's top 10. Whether you want to love or hate PFF or whatever you want to say about him, some people hate him, some people love him, whatever. Like, they're not so inaccurate that they would put a guy in the top 10 of their stuff.
No.
They might move him up 10 or 20, 10 spots. They might drop him 10 spots compared to where they should be based on their rankings. But you don't put a guy in your top 10 out of hundreds of receivers unless he's really good.
Yeah, and he's really good.
Yeah, I remember when I saw him first time when he played against Baylor. It was I'm like, dang, who was that? And they kept saying his name. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
And then as the season went on, kept hearing his name more and more. Who he playing on? UTSA. Oh Lord. Okay, that's why I don't hear about him, because he's down there. So but the guy's outstanding. Hey, you get any footage of him during the workouts, Trevor?
I got some. The problem is, okay, so at the training days after period 5, only accredited media are allowed to record, videotape any of the footage from then on out. So after period 5, it's only accredited media, which is why I'm so thankful for our viewers, because they keep doing what they're doing. We're going to get there. And I'm beyond grateful for the love they've shown just on the stuff I was able to get. Which keep an eye out, guys. I'm going back Saturday for you viewers next week. Eyes out there, content. But that being said, I got some footage of them. Not some footage per se that I would say is channel worthy, and the reason I say that is not because it's bad quality or a bad tape of him, but it's more or less like just him getting in team oriented drills, not so much showing off what he does.
Right. Understand.
But I will say another person to talk about is who you brought up a minute ago. We brought in Tanner Muse. One thing that's not touched on enough about that signing, that's a way under the radar signing, in my opinion, because not only is he a special teams ace, which I'm quoting someone here, but he is a special teams ace, but he was a special teams ace at the Clemson University. Okay?
Yep.
That guy is yet another Clemson alum with Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne. I mean, so he comes in with chemistry. Like, I'm just saying. I mean, the guy is good. And then on top of that, that kind of, for me, that kind of shows me that we're gonna use him if what I'm seeing, okay? Because another person I'm gonna talk to you guys about later, someone I watched is the new running back we got from Texas. But
Yes.
anyway, I think it'll be Duvernay and Muse, two returners, in my opinion. To be honest with you, because this running back, him and Tank Bigsby were showing out, and so was ETN.
You mean Robinson?
Yeah, Robinson.
Oh, Robinson. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was about to say Tanner Muse was not brought in. No, you're good. No, and I will say though, I guarantee you Tanner Muse, if we keep him, is going to be on the kickoff team.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because
Yeah.
Tanner Muse was a special teams ace, literally.
Right.
Yeah. But no, Robinson. Hear me out, all right?
He's fast, bro.
Robinson is stupid fast, and he's a great kickoff thing. But what I'm saying is, it would be Muse and Robinson, I believe. But that's also debatable. And here's why I say that. The only reason I say Duvernay is even a possibility as a returner instead of Robinson is not because Robinson wouldn't be better on kickoffs, but because Robinson could find a way heavier workload in our reps on offense than we may have been anticipating. That guy is really good at finding a hole. I witnessed this firsthand. Okay, Tank Bigsby had some really good runs to the outside where he busted around the line, but I saw Robinson cutting through the line, he was very ETN-esque, which would show me he may even move up to split reps with Tank. You know what I mean? Like split the two with Tank. And if he's doing that, I don't know that they pulled Tank from special teams, but I think that's because of his fumbling issues. But regardless, who knows if they keep him on returns, because returns, you have to return them now. Almost every one of them, if they land in the return zone, they have to be returned. So it's guaranteed you're tiring the shit out of them, and they're taking a hit. So who knows if they're going to want to bang up Robinson like that, because he is a lot better, I think, at the intangibles than were previously expected. Just watching him move, and like his IQ is high. You can see like his football IQ is high. He actually waits for a hole to develop, and he did that very well. Now, I haven't heard much about that since the pads come on, and I guess I'll see again Saturday. But without the pads, he was very good at finding the hole and jumping through. Who knows how far he'd actually make it with the DN pulling him down seriously, but the IQ is there, is all I'll say. And, that's why I think it begs the question. With Cephas showing out like he is, Cephas, I think, will easily take that predicted spot we had for Duvernay as like that switch-in utility knife guy, because Cephas is really fast, like a lot faster than I expected him to be at his size. It translates well. His speed translates very well. So that being said, if that happens, we can push Duvernay to the return, bring Robinson to split the two with Tank, and not have to beat the crap out of anybody that we want to give considerable reps on offense to.
Okay.
You know who I've been hearing about in camp that has been a lot better than he has been in the past?
Who?
Caleb Johnson, number 57. I heard he is flying sideline to sideline, playing really well right now. He's been on the team for about, I think, 3 years on like bouncing between practice squad and active. And I've heard he's playing really well in camp right now.
Yeah, but he usually plays well in camp every year.
He made a difference.
Like Tony Wiggins and like Jordan DeLugo and guys that have been there. So like he looks like very like they said they didn't even like. I know Tony Wiggins said he forgot the guy was even on the team in recent years. Like he said this year, like he is flying around really good. Like,
hey, you know what's interesting though? Sometimes just a change of a scheme and approach, you'd be surprised what you unleash in a player.
I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's great though too, because we're putting in, again, Tony Wiggins. I shout him out all the time, but he made a good point. I was watching Locked On earlier, the good one, of course, not the other crappy ones, but Locked On Jaguars, best one. So I mean, he mentioned that in this new way they're doing things with Ryan Nielsen, everybody here, like you're seeing these guys play with the ones, and then you're seeing, he was talking about earlier, like you're seeing Trayvon Walker and Christian Braswell in the field at the same time. You're seeing Josh Allen and DeAndre Prince. You're seeing Caleb Johnson and, all these different guys in with them. And he's like, you really see how a player can play when you put them in against the ones in situational positions are only like by themselves, not the entire twos unit, it because there's a little bit of smoke there because you're not 100% like, okay, these are all twos, we're good. Like you still have the ones there, you still got to worry about them. And then you can see how a player can really adapt to that and play their role, and if they can go to their spot. I feel like one thing that's going to help, and one thing that probably could have helped him do more for the team and really everybody is, there is zero question that anybody knows what they're doing. Zero on defense. Everyone is where they need to be, and if they're not, they get talked to, and they're immediately there the next play. So, I think that just like you said, the scheme change, putting them in the right positions, it's going to help a lot of people. And I think that I think we had the personnel to run a 3-4. Absolutely. I think Josh Allen and Trevor Walker are smart, physical, fast players that can play that. I just think that moving to the 4-3, the way they're going to run it with the hybrid situations, it's going to help out a lot of these guys. And then Lloyd playing, which, Devin Lloyd's moving to the mic, it sounds like. And then they're going to have Foye and, Chad Muma, from what I've seen, running in the weak side and the strong side. So it's going to be interesting how moving these guys around. And I think Foye is going to be awesome as a, outside linebacker. In the scheme, they're still going to play between the tackles a lot, but just moving these guys around, I think a lot of these guys are poised for a great, the best season they've had. And also too, I think we're going to see a lot more rotation from guys that have been on the team for a year or two and have never gotten the chance, but are going to now.
I can guarantee you that.
I've heard Seth Williams has looked good too.
He did.
Sorry.
Yeah, he has. No, you're good. He has. And that's what I was about to go to next, was just like exactly like you talked about, this rotational stuff. Like you see Yasir Abdullah on the field with Josh Allen. That's something you never saw in the years prior. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I can tell you this, we severely lacked that in the last 2 years, especially with injuries. We had guys coming on the field looked like they've never even touched the field within the last 5 years. Okay. So we're already better there. But one thing I can say that really it really stood out was these guys' size. Our D-line, their size, they are massive. Like massive. They have always been big guys, but they are huge, okay? And I'm gonna say this right now. If we get good play out of Devon Hamilton and Eric Armstead, Foye Oluokun takes back his tackling title. Easy. It is easy, undeniable. I guarantee it. If we get good play out of them, Foye is taking the tackling title back. It's no questions asked. Because I can tell you right now, even without pads, they had obviously the offensive line can't put too much of a fight, but like just the movement from the linebackers, they're explosive right now. Like the way that the scheme that we're running, like we've had it, and I can tell you this too, Ryan Nielsen's way better at showing one and playing another. Holy shit. Okay. Even if we weren't running red zone, okay, say we were running full 11-11 all the way down the field, install both playbooks fully. I'm not going to be scared if Trevor Lawrence has bad days. Our defense is really good. They are really good. And another thing I want to talk about is the couple of the guys we were wanting to watch. Jerry and Jones, one of my personal favorites, certified stud. Book it. I'm telling you. That guy.
Yeah, I heard.
That guy.
He's having a great one.
Oh, he's been really good. Really good. Okay, like I'm talking about on routes that like I've watched people like Jalen Ramsey get shook off. This guy stuck to him like glue. He's right here. Right here. Just in there.
We got that we haven't had in a couple of years.
What's that?
DB play that's actually like.
We got a kicker, baby.
Oh, yeah. Love this guy.
We got a kicker, baby. 61.
It's going to be the next version of Josh Scobie, hopefully.
Yep. R.I.P. Riley Patterson for the second time.
Yeah, for the second time. Yeah, well, who didn't see that coming?
I'm just saying, I can tell you this. I watched them two go kick for kick the other day. It was it's not comparable. It's not comparable.
Oh, also too. Oh, no, you're good. Go ahead.
Cam Little is levels above.
This beautiful stroke right here with somebody holding. So it's not like you can't do it without or with just freaking that's there, dude.
He could have went back 10, 15 more yards.
Oh yeah. This dude is legit. I think too, honestly, They say that other kid out of Georgia or Bama or wherever he was from, that other dude kicker that was taken before him. They say he's better. I guarantee you, Cam Little's the best kicker out of this class. And one thing too, you don't spend a draft pick on a kicker unless that motherfucker's making the team, and he's going to make it different.
Exactly.
And I want to see Cam Little here for the next 15, 20 years if we can. If he's the next Adam Vinatieri or whoever with a stronger leg, that's what I want to see. I think it's nice to have that. It's nice because now we feel like all three phases are kind of coming together, at least in my opinion.
Right.
Offenses look good since pads came on. That's something we haven't been able to say because they haven't seemed as aggressive. They seem aggressive. The offensive line is really holding their own with pads on, from what I'm hearing against these guys. They said Trayvon Walker and Cam Little have had some reps where they've gone back and forth and held up pretty good. I've heard that Walker Little is looking a little more nasty in camp, unlike previous years, and he looks bigger. And it was against DeAndre Prince, so I'm not saying this means anything. What I'm saying is, on a screen, he went out and absolutely leveled DeAndre Prince. That's something you haven't seen from him, even against smaller guys in years past. And I think that kind of something that may be something to consider is that trade deadline comes around. I think we probably would have already tried to do it, but that trade deadline comes around. We might have a Javon Foster swing tackle and a Walker Little starting left tackle if they try to move Cam at the trade deadline. Now, do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. I think we let Cam play out. We decide, but I think it could, because they really have to make a decision. Because basically at this point, you either re-sign Cam, you re-sign Walker Little, or you let them both walk. There's no keeping one over the other for another extra year. You either let one walk, both walk, or you're not keeping Walker Little on the roster if you're keeping Cam for another couple of years, and you're paying Cam too much money if you do.
Well, as far as the trade deadline, I think, what you're saying makes a whole lot of sense. I think if it gets close to the trade deadline and there's some question, I think the best offer is Cam be gone. I believe.
Or they could toss Walker Little out there on the trade block too. He's
Walker will be the bait.
I don't.
You think so?
I only say that because we'll get more for him, not because he's not a better player at his age, but it's just because Cam is injury prone. First of all, and any team around the league knows that. He's not getting any younger, and he's not exactly the fastest guy out there anyway for his weight class. I can tell you this. I watched team sprints. He came dead last out of all the linemen every time. And and it wasn't by like just a little bit. I'm talking about like they're dusting him. Every other lineman, everybody. He wasn't even really putting in effort. Okay, like it won't be because he shouldn't be the one to go. It'll be because Little will get more value if we're letting one go. If it's like you said, you can't pick one or the other really. So if one's going to go on the trade block, it would be Little, and I think we just let Cam walk.
Okay, logic. That's logical. That's logic.
Javon Foster is massive in person. That guy is a beast. I will say this though, I didn't see too many reps with him in the ones, so I think our initial take on like who we thought or what we thought our offensive line may look like, I don't think that's the case, at least not for the first couple weeks, unless something changes with the pads being on, which is very possible. But I did not see Javon Foster getting a whole lot of rotation at all. I actually don't remember a single play on 11 when he came in once. I did see him doing the sleds and stuff with everybody. I saw him do all the regular lineman drills. He looked great. He's very strong. I can tell you that. Like Cam pushed the sled. It was convincing, like you could tell he's a big guy. Javon threw the sled. Like Javon got under that sled and was driving it to the parking lot, buddy. Like that guy's a monster. That being said, Anton looks really good. He looks even sharper than he did last year, which is expected, but he looks really good. Looks healthy too. Like very healthy.
Good.
Big
That's
guy.
the key word right there. Healthy.
Very good guy. Very good.
Yes.
And then speaking of health, like coming off injury, the hype about Tyson Campbell, absolutely real. Same with Devon Hamilton. Absolutely real. They are flying. Devon Hamilton especially. Like I heard
him in one-on-ones. him and the center. Fuck.
Morse.
Morse. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Mitch Morse. I heard he got the best of Mitch Morse on more than one occasion. Of course, you're not really going to be putting your center up against a 340, 350 pound D lineman one-on-one very often. But that's encouraging. Mitch Morse is a big, strong dude. For him to be able to go one-on-one with him and get the better of him, multiple times. I think it's going to be easy to say he's back once we see him in the first game, of course. But I think that I want to see some more film too, or more tape, or some more clips of Mason Foster and Jordan Jefferson, getting some reps. I know Jordan Jefferson was sidelined with, I think, an ankle injury.
Yeah, he never came in.
But Mason Smith, I've been wanting to see him a little bit.
Big.
He's huge.
Very big.
So, and that's something too that, it sucks that Armstead's down, but we need to make sure he's good to go and 100% healthy before we stick him back in there.
Right.
But it's great that we get to see more Mason Smith. We're probably going to see a good bit of him in the preseason. And we could see a good bit of him early in the season while our boy Armstead's coming back and getting more acclimated. I think we'll see Armstead early, beginning. I think week 1 Armstead will be good to go. I think he'll be on a pitch clock for sure. They'll want to make sure he's not taking 50, 60 reps in a game, which you never really want your defense to take that many, but it does happen. But yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting for sure.
I can say, watching Mason Smith move around, especially, he's got good speed. He's really quick on his feet to be as big as he is. Very fast. But something that's even more encouraging to me, okay, never do you forget that you have a player the caliber of Eric Armstead, but I can say I never missed him in the movements. It's hard to miss what you've never seen. So we've never seen him in there. But I can tell you, Devon Foster looked Devon Hamilton next to, or going in front of Foster, looked plenty capable. You got Smith, he looks very capable. Everybody looks capable, very capable. And it comes back to that stuff I've harped on multiple times about the whole good enough doesn't cut it anymore. We finally appear to have a team that's not good enough. We are it. We may not be the best team in the league, but we're not the worst. And I will tell you, I do think we're the most improved. I've done a lot of deep diving on that, looking around the league at other teams, especially after the conversation I had with Mayor last week on the show. I just couldn't get down with the Titans had the best offseason. That just was asinine to me.
So one thing I will say in Mayor's defense, I think the way you asked the question,
the framing may have been right.
I think because you asked who filled the most holes and had the best offseason overall, filling the most holes. I do think the Titans did that. I think they brought in more players that are going to start than any other team in the AFC South. So I think the way you asked the question, he's not necessarily wrong. But for the most improved team, I definitely think it's us. But I will say your original framing was who filled the most holes. I think they did because they had the most holes and they brought in a lot of guys.
Right.
But no, I definitely agree with you, though, when you went into detail about why we're the best, because fuck the Titans. But
absolutely. Fuck them just because, but then here's some facts about it. Which another thing to shout out Mayor real quick, which, because respect the Mayor. Every time we have a conversation and I drop that knowledge down, if it's something – it's not if, and I'm not saying this sounds cocky, and I don't want to sound cocky, but I don't just spit shit out on this show or on any of these podcasts that you can't go back and check. You can check everything I'm telling you.
Right.
All right. So when I tell him something, I drop the facts down. He's always very open to be like, "You just taught me something." I can respect that, and respect to Mayor for that, because that's a level-headed fan. But what I will say though is I did a lot of deep diving on other teams. I haven't completed my full analysis of the entire league, but I can tell you I still have not found anyone that has had an overall most better improvement than we have. We literally filled gaps in every room. Every room of our team got improvements, not substitutions. Improvement. We've improved everywhere. The only place we didn't improve is offensive coordinator. That's it. I'm just saying, we got improvements everywhere, and I just haven't found a team that's done more. But I can tell you, to circle back to the original point, was just due to these improvements and the way that our team is moving, Obviously, it's training camp, and everybody gets excited about training camp. Everybody thinks they're winning the Super Bowl in training camp. But I will tell you, I didn't feel the need for a dominant interior lineman on the D line in Armstead's absence. Now, Armstead obviously is still going to greatly improve it, which is what's so exciting about it, is I didn't feel like we were lacking there, and we still don't even have one of the best guys there.
Always a good thing. That's a good feeling. Great feeling right there.
Oh, yeah. And Ryan Nielsen, I love him. I already fucking love him. Just want to right off the bat. I posted the clip, and thank you guys for the love on it. Oh, fuck. Thank you guys for the love on the clip. Now our highest viewed short. But dude, he got right in Josh Allen's face, 1-to-1 with him while he's hitting the sled. I mean, that's a basic drill for a guy of Josh Allen's caliber, but he still wanted to be there. He's still trying to poke the fire and get more out of him. That is what you need. That is insane, and I love it.
Oh yeah, you can. Oh hell yeah, hell yeah. See, all right now. See, yeah, let's get busy. But you know what? It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
It's a really good thing.
Because what you're talking about is the physicality. They're definitely gotten stronger. Everybody's locked in. Oh yeah.
As a matter of fact, Isaiah, we can pull up some of our own footage that did really well without saying you don't own this footage. We can pull up that footage for everybody. They can see exactly what I'm talking about.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Because we own the footage, bitch.
Oh shit! I gotta sign in. I forgot I had to do a clear cache of cookies the other day.
I can just tell you, dude. Like while Isaiah's pulling the clip up and stuff, and it wasn't just with Josh Allen. He was getting involved with the DBs, the linebacking core. I saw him one-on-one with multiple players that are first stringers, and second stringers, and he didn't discriminate. Like I saw him one-on-one with Yasir Abdullah. I saw him get one-on-one with Chad Muma. I saw him get one-on-one with DeAndre Prince multiple times. I mean, he was getting involved with everyone. It wasn't just, I know you make a lot of money, so I trust you to do the drill right.
Right.
And it's not that, I'm not trying to say that he's questioning him, but like, watch this.
No.
You'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Sometimes it's about the technique. Yeah.
Look, here comes Josh Allen. And look, watch, he's going to get right there. Look at him.
Look at Ryan Nielsen getting directed.
Yeah.
Right there in his face.
Right there. Showing him. All right, this is where I want you to hit. Right here. Right here.
And he didn't walk away from that drill until every one of them had done it. Every one of them.
Say, yeah.
So clips.
Oh, yeah. There we go, baby. That's chemistry loading right there. I'm dead serious. I mean, that's the best
lock on
I can come up with.
Let's see if there's a. There we go.
Linebacker.
Yeah, let's see what else we got.
Look how quick they are to the hole on this.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. All right. All right. Go.
The running back never even made it.
Inside the office.
Oh yeah, we got some clips, baby. Going viral.
They did go pretty viral. They did really well.
Man, look at that joker legs.
That's what we're talking about. Hey, that boy looks swole from Arizona, man.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
There you go. See, that's why we on top. That's why we on top right there.
Got the man on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
We got the dudes in the studio and the man on the ground.
Riding. Yeah.
Hey, and we don't plan on slowing down, man. We're the top of the CPN for a reason. And not
we're
just
not slowing down.
Not just CPN. I personally, I rewatch all of our content so I can try to improve on my commentary and, anything that I could improve on, stuff like that. And I always try to be open for any of the guys to tell me anything as well. But I can tell you, watching our show versus watching some of the other Jaguars pods, the only Jaguars pod that I feel has an edge on us is literally Locked On because they're right there. I mean, they're inside. You can't. It's gonna be really hard to beat that. They're literally inside. Right. Okay,
right.
But as outside, like an outstanding third party, I think we're doing very well, and I just thank you guys for obviously your efforts on it as well. And then thank the viewers. Like, thank y'all for liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting. And we've got a global audience now. It may be small, but it's still there. And shout out to
there.
you.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Don't
I'll
talk
throw
about
this at y'all I'll throw this at y'all later. But yeah.
later. What we
Oh,
throwing?
we got time now. What's good with you, Eric?
No. Afterwards. We,
Oh,
we're
okay.
gonna have to coordinate. It's gonna take some coordination.
Okay.
But
Coordination.
yeah, afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What else y'all got? Y'all got anything else we need to talk about?
I do want to talk about a couple things, I guess.
Okay.
I've been watching other training camps, obviously from all of our rivals. Because if you really love ball, you're watching all of them.
Watching them, yeah.
You're watching them. All right. There's been fights broken out in every one of them, except Duval. And I think interviews like we just watched from Joshua Cephas earlier will tell you why. Trevor Lawrence is talking to a guy that was an undrafted free agent, giving him one-on-one pointers. Okay. Being a humble guy. This guy just got paid. He's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. Still doesn't let that ego get to his head. Same thing with Tyson Campbell. It's been quoted multiple times. Tyson Campbell's given one-on-one advice to DeAndre Prince and Jerry and Jones multiple times. He just got paid. Okay? I mean, the ego doesn't seem to be there. And I'm grateful because this is one thing I can finally say this. And there's a lot of people that I think would agree with me. Especially you, Reed, and I know you're watching. Shout out to you. Reed, me and Reed were actually walking through the stadium the other day after the practice.
Right.
And as we're walking through the stadium, we're talking about Jalen Ramsey because as everybody here on the show, if you're a subscriber, you're a return viewer, you know that we all agree he should have been a Jaguar until the end of his career. Okay.
Agree.
Reed has a different perspective on this. Reed has the perspective from the front office side of a guy that did have a big ego, a guy that would openly get on social medias and bash the front office. That does create a ridge. I mean, it does. Talent-wise, he does still agree, obviously. He should have been here because he was the best corner in the league. Still arguably could be. Just depends on the scheme and the defense. He's getting older. Sauce Gardner's probably above him now, but it really just depends because you could probably flag Sauce Gardner for holding and PI every single down of a game. But that's another discussion. Anyway, Jalen Ramsey's still one of the top, but it comes to a point now where we've got guys that we did pay, and I can see the differences. Big differences. Like Jalen Ramsey was locked down. Tyson Campbell was locked down rookie years. Locked down. Tyson Campbell had an injury. Still played okay through the injuries, but could do better. But, I mean, we know what we've got with him. Jalen Ramsey, we knew what we had with him. But Jalen Ramsey was not going to third and fourth round picks one-on-one and with him. Jalen Ramsey's walking around the building like, I own this bitch. This is my place. You better get better or you don't play with me type shit, you know? And then he starts bashing the team on social media. So, while I hate that we let him go because if we would have treated him better, the social media would have never happened. But I can say that just does give you more insight as to the guy he was, the man he was at that time. And you don't want those kind of players in your locker room. That's a locker room poison. Shout out Stephon Diggs. You just don't want that kind of stuff in your locker room when you're trying to build a family mentality.
True
and
that.
These guys are, I'm just saying, like most of them really are like this. It's not just put up there for team media days. Like, you see them on their personal socials all the time together. I mean, shout out to Duval, man. Just shout out to the Jaguars. Like, we love them. We do a pod on them, but I don't think we've said in a long time. Just fucking shout out to them because they've really built a good chemistry here. Now we'll hope that it translates to good play, but we've got all the pieces.
Damn it. I agree. I agree. Hey, you can see it. You can see it, being built. You can see it now. And I think last year was a very valuable. It was valuable experience for them, to realize, we need to take this next step and let's do some things right for a change. Like I was telling y'all last week, that draft class with Trevor, ETN, they're all coming through now. Third, fourth year coming through. So, and shouldn't that be when you really judge or draft current class compared to the night they get drafted?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
4 years later. Are they
Yeah.
producing?
Are they producing? Or is the team keeping them? Developing them or what? So yeah, and the class before that too. I think that's where Hamilton was, wasn't it? So it's the drafting is definitely getting better also. And the decision making. I think that's why Shad's made that comment. Yeah, we done with that free agency stuff. We got to develop them now. Of course, he didn't spend a whole lot of money on them also.
Well, I mean,
You
and
know.
that, and you look back at how has that really fared for us?
Right. Yeah.
It's never fared very well for us. Really, I mean, I think the most successful free agency we had like in a while, other than D. Will, was probably Marvin Jones.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Marvin Jones was very productive for us, but
yes.
Well,
I mean, even in the end, we still couldn't keep him long term, which was more altruistic.
Evan Ingram and Foye.
Well, we still have them.
I got you. People that are not on the team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm talking about people that have already come and gone, because obviously he's not referencing the people who are currently producing.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
People that have come and gone, the most success we had was out of Marvin Jones, which, don't get me wrong. Whoa, wait a minute. That's something that we forgot to talk about. I don't think a lot of people caught it. Marvin Jones posted something and said,
I caught it.
With him again.
Yeah, I saw
Trevor
that.
been talking. That's one thing that got confirmed. Him and Trevor have been having conversations now.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised to see, whether it be the deadline or whether it be when his current contract expires, Marvin Jones reunites in Duval on a very cheap contract, just because he knows he's getting up there, But he wants to play with Trevor again. He's made that explicitly clear.
He ain't coming back.
I mean, he was basically Trevor's security. He was Trevor's security. When he was in trouble, he would always look to find Jones. Huh?
That's right. He did do that.
So,
How long is his current contract? It's only a couple of years, ain't it?
I'm pretty sure he's not on a team right now.
Is he on? He's not on. He's on.
Pretty sure he's. I'm pretty sure he went back. He went to his other team, and now he's not on a team anymore. If I'm not
he went back to Detroit.
Pretty sure he's a free agent right now. No, he's not coming back. We have hard enough roster decisions to make between Cephas, Washington, Seth Williams, Cooks. We only way he can come back is if we carry 8 receivers, because we're not passing up Cephas or any of these other guys to bring back old man Marvin Jones bones. It's he was solid. I think he did his time in Duval, and I don't think he gets any more time.
That's very possible.
Yeah.
I think it would really come down to what deal would it be.
I think at this point, though, if you really think about it, do you bring back Marvin Jones, he's got sure hands? He's not as athletic as he used to be. He already was kind of he just caught balls. It wasn't like he was burning people when he was here. Or do you take a chance on a guy like Josh Cephas that's built a little bigger actually? Who's faster, who's has shown in camp now that he could be that guy. Do you just take a chance on him and let him show you? Because, I mean, realistically, you got a guy, Josh Cephas, who's 21, 22?
Yeah.
You got a guy, Marvin Jones.
I'm not saying he's coming to take a spot. I don't think that's the case. I don't think he's coming in to compete with anybody we've got. I think if he came back, it would just be like more like a mentorship role. Is he limited?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I would think. I think it'd be something like that, and maybe not even just carry 8 receivers, label them special teams only. Something just. It's if he ever does it at all, but I'm just basically the point is he's expressed very high desire to play with Trevor again. We know him and Trevor are still in contact very often, and I will say our office has seemed pretty committed to doing what Trevor's asked them to do, which is why I do say this. I think ETN is absolutely getting paid next. Him or Cisco. It'll be him or Cisco, but I do think it will probably be ETN, because you think we've done 2 big contracts on defensive side of the ball this year. They're going to probably go ETN next, and then Cisco will get his after, I do believe. I mean, it could go either way, really, with Cisco or ETN, but I wouldn't be surprised to see ETN get it, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of people that say running backs are a dime a dozen. But I mean, and then there's those same people will be the people to say, well, you don't see running backs like MJD or Fred Taylor anymore. You don't leave them on a fucking team long enough to be MJD or Fred Taylor anymore either. You don't leave them the fuck alone. You don't give them the chance to be that. I think that's a problem with the Jaguars too, and especially in recent years, is we'll get a guy he'll either get hurt and then we'll instantly replace him before we even give him the chance, or we'll force him back early from his injury and then ruin the rest of his career, a.k.a. Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette was kind of made of glass. I'm not going to lie. He got hurt too much. I will say that. But, I mean, we also were forcing him back on the field just like we did to Blake Bortles. I mean, Blake Bortles played an entire season with a torn ligament in his shoulder on his throwing arm, and they still forced him to play because they felt the chances with him hurt were better than without it. And look at what happened to him. He went on to become a certified backup that's not even in the league anymore. And I will say this, Blake Bortles was not as bad as people put him out to be.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody else said that.
He was not.
He wasn't.
I'm not saying he was like, he's not a Trevor Lawrence. He's definitely not.
No, but he wasn't as bad as they made him.
He was not as bad as people made him out to be. Somebody that I think was a little worse than people gave credit or like gave too much credit to was Blaine Gabbert, in my opinion. I think people gave Blaine Gabbert way too much fucking credit, but then shit all over Blake Bortles. Like, I'm not saying that we should have paid Blake Bortles either. That's a whole nother conversation. Okay. But I will say, if we weren't forcing him to play through the shit we were forcing him to play for, he may have given us a lot better play and a lot longer, more successful career.
Look, I know that's the argument that they should have paid him because that man went and beat Pittsburgh.
They did pay him.
Yeah,
they did.
I'm saying they should have. They should have.
He's saying there was a debate, and that's the debate. He's saying his side.
They should have paid him. I mean, look who he was throwing the ball to. Really, I mean.
Yeah, they let Allen Robinson go. After that ACL,
I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, they should have paid him because at the time he was drafted for that purpose anyway, to be the team's franchise quarterback. But like you say, the wrong people in charge force you back when you ain't ready. Bad shoulder. Yeah.
But they ain't forcing him back. They didn't even let him leave.
And then it was I'm talking about as far as making the playoff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they did that multiple times. Now, I am of the opinion we should have paid Blake Bortles at the time. I wasn't saying that to say that we shouldn't have paid him. I'm just saying that's another topic that we can get into another time. Yeah. But regardless, Blake Bortles could have given us a lot more, I think.
He had it. He had it in him. Yeah.
I think he did. He did. And he showed it. I mean, he took Tom Brady and knocked him the hell out against the ropes, and we got fucked out of that game. I will be the first one to admit when we let games slide because of us. That game was stolen from us. All right. Plain and simple. Watch it back. Cry, argue with your mom. All right. That game was stolen from us. And then playoffs, Blake Bortles really looked like the best quarterback in the playoffs that year. Out of anybody. He was playing lights out. Why wouldn't you pay that guy? But again, I digress. That's off topic. The topic really is running backs getting paid and why they don't last as long. They don't last as long because our running backs particularly, James Robinson, same deal. We forced him back too early from his
Thank you.
We forced him back way too early, and we destroyed him for it.
Mm-hmm.
We destroyed him.
Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer dummy.
Destroyed him.
Yep.
And he was really good. He showed really good promise. He showed a lot of upside. And then the injury, and then we forced him back, and then he plays like shit because he's still hurt. What do you expect him to do? What did you expect from him? And the same, like I said, with Leonard Fournette. I was not a fan of them forcing Leonard Fournette back because I will say his rookie year, he got hurt his rookie year. That's what
I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of the draft myself because even in college he was injury prone. He had bad ankles, So so when we drafted him, the first thing to go wrong is his ankles. I'm like, see, we shouldn't have. Be like, okay.
But I will say, if they would have let him rehab it, he wouldn't have gone out 6 or 7 more times like he did.
Right, I agree with that.
I mean, because his rookie season, they made him play out the rest of the year. And he was hurt for the last, I think it was like 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And they made him play out the season. I mean, where in anyone's mind does long-term development come into play? And that's why I'm congratulating our team now. Like, hats off to them because clearly long-term development is more of a staple now. I mean, I think that's evident with the fact that we kept Devon Hamilton around. I love Devon Hamilton. He played very well. But I think Jaguars front office of old, he wouldn't be on the team right now.
I agree.
I
agree with that.
Front office of old, I think he'd be gone, and it wouldn't even be a fair assessment. The same reason, like we gave up on Williams way too early. Look at him now.
Who?
I don't want to say his name. It makes my heart hurt a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
Because he's one of the best in the league now.
Oh. Well.
He plays up in New York.
I think.
Oh.
I think. Yeah, I don't think.
Oh
We need to do that.
yes,
But hear me
Quincy.
out. Hear me
You
out.
talking about
Though.
Quincy?
Hear me out,
Yes,
though.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
I mean, he helped hand us Trevor Lawrence, so I'm not really that mad about it. I'm mad about it, but I'm not really that mad about it because he helped transfer.
Paid out. It paid out in the end, but I mean, it's just like it's another situation of Jalen Ramsey to just go examples with like how our front office was thinking back then. It wasn't long term. It paid out for Trevor Lawrence, but like the Jalen Ramsey thing.
Yeah, but you're comparing a guy who was like a fringe practice squad player who never really fit in our defense, who went on somewhere else where he fit and thrived, to a guy who was the best in the league in our defense. Like that's a little different. But Quincy Williams was never really that great in Jacksonville. He got a couple of shots, he played decent, but he got hurt, and then he just never fit in our scheme. And then whenever he left and went to a scheme that actually fit him, that's when he thrived. I mean, I think it's kind of, he really didn't do much for Jacksonville when he was here.
You're right about that, but how many times does that have to be the case in our history?
Right.
Where like how many guys have come in and somehow our scheme, we're still losing, and keep this in mind, during this whole time, we're losing horribly. And instead of adjusting scheme to the guys we have, which would in turn be longer term development, buying into the guys we have, trying to build to them, cater to them, we just let them walk and continue with this losing ass scheme that wasn't helping us.
Didn't we get rid of him though when we still had Telvin Smith, Miles Jack, and was it Scobert at that time? Who did we have as middle?
I don't remember who we had as middle. I get why he wasn't necessarily a stud on our team at the time. It was just more of my God damn, you keep flashbanging yourself, buddy.
I know, right?
8 times in 2 weeks. But either way, though, like it's not to say like we should have kept him per se. It's just more of an example of like why you can see the difference in our mindset now of long-term development versus what was and what is.
What was right? Exactly.
Yeah, back then we didn't care about anybody that wasn't a one already. Essentially,
right?
It felt like anybody that wasn't a first stringer. Fuck you. You're just here because we have to hold you on the roster. Like
1 year, okay. Second year, yeah, you gone. Okay, we can get something for you good.
Not, something that's funny too is, like Quincy Williams. While he's good, he's not as good as they say he is.
I still agree with you there
because I mean he had like 100 and like he had like 140 tackles last year. They put him at number 32 when Foye Aluakun had over 200 or right around 200, and they didn't even put him in the top 100.
I think that's horseshit. And also another thing, fuck you Texans fans, because I saw where CJ Stroud is, and you just reminded me. I'm sorry, fuck you Texans fans, because he's not number 20 in the whole fucking NFL. You guys and I know you guys didn't vote on him; it's player voted, but fuck y'all. Y'all put too much
so again, we had our number 1 and number 2 linebackers that we have now both out tackled him and outplayed him, but he was on a really good defense where he wasn't the only person. Where they had a good D line, so there weren't people just running up the middle. They weren't having to scramble to get people. He wasn't. I just think that it sucks that he's good. He's a great system player. I think he's a great player by himself. But I think that people talk about Quincy Williams. We have 2 absolute dogs on our linebacking core. It would be nice to have him now that we're in a 4-3 and have him play, and Ramuma will be playing, or whoever's going to start over there. It would be nice. I think Yasir Abdullah could really take a step and maybe take that role because of his athleticism. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think Muma's better than people give him credit. I think that he got kind of gypped in the year 1 where he was out there all preseason playing, knew the playbook. Then we got Lloyd out there who really didn't know what was going on. But of course, Lloyd is definitely more athletic and a better talent. I'm not going to say he's not. But I do think that there was kind of some like, hey, well, maybe we should ease Lloyd in rather than just throw him out there. But we'll see. I think Muma in the Ryan Nielsen scheme, the way they use him, I think he's going to move around a little bit more. They said Foye is also going to move around a lot. I think we could see a really good year from our linebackers and a big step forward with actually being like, okay, on this, when we run this, I do this, not where the fuck am I supposed to be? Because they didn't tell me, and they have no clue where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, they didn't tell me shit. I'm just here.
So it's literally because literally like year 1 and year 2, you just see Foye like pointing, yelling, pointing, like telling him where to go mid-play. Foye is over here playing coverage, running with a guy and pointing and yelling at Devin Lloyd to go do something. While he's doing that, it's causing him to have some bad coverage. I think this year we're really going to see, which Devin Lloyd had a great year last year. I'm not going to say he was like number 3 in run stopping for all linebackers in the league, higher than Fred Warner, by the way. But anyways, so we're going to have a good year. We're gonna have a lot of guys doing the right thing, doing what they're supposed to be doing. Whether they make a play every time. I love that Ryan Nielsen said this. Love this guy. I think he's gonna be the best coordinator we've ever had. We've had in a long time. I don't know about ever yet, just because I don't know how long he's gonna be here. I think he's gonna be the best coordinator we've had in a long time because he said, "Hey, we're here to win reps. We're not here to win every down." And like if you're doing the right thing, and that's what he means by winning a rep. You did the right thing. You're in the right place at the right time. Because the reality of football. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Eric.
No, I think we're about to say the same thing. The reality, if you winning your reps, that means everything is going like it's supposed to, and the other team's not moving the ball.
Absolutely,
the defense is being successful.
And you got to be there.
They're going to beat you sometime.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. It's going to happen.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Yeah, it's there's no team, there's no player, besides Jarian Jones in college, no touchdowns. Anyways, there's nobody that's never going to get scored on. There's nobody that's never. You might do it for a season. You might do it for 2 seasons. You might do it for 3 seasons. Somebody will score a touchdown on you, no matter how perfect your coverage is, because some people are bigger, some people are faster, some people are stronger, some people get lucky. Sometimes the ball bounces the right way for them and the wrong way for you. There's never going to be somebody who their entire NFL career will never have a rep one against them, have 0 yards in coverage, stuff like that. And a lot of players, they have no touchdown scored against them because they have, 1,000 yards against them on the season, and they're averaging letting up like 10 yards per attempt, but they didn't throw them in the red zone. They ran the ball or they threw it somewhere else. So, that's one thing that I'm looking at is like, if you're in the right place at the right time, success is going to come. We're not here to make sure nobody ever scores a single point on the football field, because that's not how it goes. That's not how it's going to happen. But I like his mindset. I think he's got the right mindset for these players. I think the players have the right mindset and are following and buying into that. And yeah, I think we're doing good. I think we're in a good place going forward. We got a lot of young talent, a lot of big guys, a lot of fast guys. And there's gonna be some cuts and some difficult decisions to make whenever the cuts come around.
Yeah.
We're gonna start seeing that in the next couple of weeks. But I think that there's gonna be some decisions to make of like, oh, this guy's 27, this guy's 21, and he maybe only is on a step ahead of him. Like, we're gonna keep the 21-year-old and roll with it, and keep developing. Practice squad is gonna be tough. Like, if you're thinking about keeping guys, you're not cutting Josh Cephas, and you're not picking him back up that in the practice squad. He's not going to be there. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. I would say, do you even take the risk of putting him on the practice squad?
No, you don't. Because
no.
Sure, you like Elijah Cooks, he probably won't get picked up. And if he does, no sweat off my back.
Right.
Seth Williams, he may get picked up. He's always a preseason god. He comes in, he plays really well, he does all this stuff, and then he just never does enough during the season to get in and get on, make the roster. We have all these guys that could be something and could not be something. You got to realize too, at safety, we got, DT, we got Terrell Edmonds, we got Dewey Wingard, we got what's the other dude's name?
Wingard got hurt.
Wingard did get hurt. I don't know how serious it is yet, though. Have they released that?
I'm worried about that.
Yeah, Wingard hurt.
But Wingard was going nuts too, by the way.
Oh yeah,
he was going insane. He had 2 picks. He had 2 picks in 2 days.
We got guys. There's gonna be some decisions to be made, and we might not be happy with all of them. I know that Montag kid, the tight end that we picked up from the international portal. They said he's been looking really good. He's 6'6", 250, and can run with them. We might keep 4 tight ends this year, because last year we only kept 3. We had Josh Peterson on the practice squad all year.
He's gonna go back.
There's gonna be a lot of cuts and a lot of people that are gonna be upset, and because their favorite practice squad player isn't on the team. But
get over it.
It's gonna be a good year. I'm excited.
And it's awesome to finally be in this position, because I will say, recent memory, not so much the last year, 2. I mean, definitely this year, but we really didn't have that many hard decisions to make.
No,
it was all pretty cut and dry. These guys are good, but these guys suck.
That is so true.
I mean, it's just that simple. This year we've got a lot, like you said. There's a lot of decisions to be made, and I can tell you, for a fact, Joshua Cephas better not, or I will riot personally Better not ever see the practice squad.
Hmm.
I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I said this before they ever started training camp, and we kind of debated it a little bit back and forth, but I personally would not be upset to see him go on the field over Gabe Davis, despite what we paid him and despite who Gabe Davis already is. I know this is just like one of my outlandish dreams, right? So don't take this as like this is legit, like what I think is going to happen. I don't know, but, you know, just like I would not be upset to see Brian Thomas Jr., Joshua Cephas, Christian Kirk. I would not be upset, not even in the slightest. I wouldn't. And I would fear for any secondary that stood in front of him. I'm just being dead serious.
All right.
And I will say this. I at this point right now, I have more faith in Joshua Cephas beating his guy off the line than Gabe Davis beating his guy off the line. I can almost certainly tell you that Joshua Cephas is going to win more reps than Gabe Davis does.
And y'all heard that first here on 3rd and Teal. The man,
I watched it. I watched it happen.
It's going to happen.
I saw it. I saw him doing it.
Okay. Hey, I'm not knocking you. Hey, it sounds
good. But I will
say,
Christian, or like Gabe Davis still has the edge as the overall better player. He's got more experience, got more time in the league, and he's definitely more of a sharper route runner still. But that all that comes in time and experience. I think if you put Joshua Cephas at the same point in his career as Gabe Davis, this is not even a comparison. And like from what I've seen from Joshua Cephas already, it's not a comparison between the two. Joshua Cephas we all knew he was like probably one of the steals, especially of the undrafted world. But I really don't think we could have prepared for just how good he's been so far. And again, I don't want to be the guy to say he's doing all godly right now and then he gets in the game and he flops, because he could still do that. Okay.
Right.
It's still a possibility. Highly unlikely, but it's still possible. Okay. But I'm just saying, if he translates from training to on the field what I've already seen him do and what the reports say he's done and what others have seen him do, I would not be upset to see him take a Gabe Davis spot in our starting lineup, just because I believe with what we've seen from him so far, again, training camp only, but what we've seen from him so far, I think he's more of a threat than Gabe Davis.
Okay. Well, that's the fun part about to happen, man. We get to see it for real. Yeah. See how good we are at predicting stuff. Yep. In 2 weeks. 2 weeks, baby.
Like you can see receivers line up one-on-one, right? Like you see Christian Kirk on a linebacker, you know the linebacker's cooked.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times, you know that backer's cooked.
Cooked, right.
You put BTJ on any just average corner, he's cooked. Absolutely cooked. And most elite corners, he's probably cooking them too, especially if it's a deep run ball, like just go out and run under it. He's cooked. I can't see Gabe Davis just going out and picking apart a corner.
Oh,
now he's done it.
Well,
okay, and that doesn't mean he can't do it. But again, you got to think he's also on a team where people are double teaming Stephon Diggs. I mean, I'm not saying Gabe Davis is not good. He is still good. He is still really good. He's still young, as Isaiah pointed out to us a couple weeks ago. He's still really young. He's got a lot of upside, and he's got good hands. But I think he's one of those guys that, like I've been preaching on, whether anybody wants to admit it or not, I think he's one of those guys that's just good enough. I don't know necessarily he's that guy that's going to change the game. Joshua Cephas, I know he can change the game.
Well, you know, Gabe does have a history, though, of broken plays, big plays.
He does.
You know,
something we've been lacking.
Yeah, so maybe that's what his that's what his job will be.
Like I said, I'm still rooting for him. Like,
right.
I still absolutely. I want to make this clear one time for anybody before you come at me in the comments, because you will make me with that bullshit. Because I'm making it clear now. I do not predict that week 1 you will see BTJ, Joshua Cephas, Kirk. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying explicitly is I do still believe it's BTJ, it's Gabe Davis, it's Kirk. I do believe that wholeheartedly. I think that's exactly what we're going to see week 1. Okay. I think that's the best outfit for us week 1. I just think I will, like I said, it's just that pure it factor. Like he's got that dog in him. You know he's going to win the rep. If I had to bet money, this is what I'm saying exactly. If I had to bet money on Gabe Davis or Joshua Cephas beating the corner one-on-one, I'm putting my money on Joshua Cephas.
Okay. I can't even. Yeah.
Because he's torched everybody. Like he got on Campbell the other day at training camp. I'm talking, gone.
Okay.
Gone.
All
Now,
right.
Campbell closed ground, though.
Mm.
That's why he got paid, because Campbell closed the ground very quickly. Okay. But still, he broke the line. And if you think about it, this is just one-on-ones and running against each other, but you got a live player here. Trevor sees that already. If Trevor sees man press on anybody with the size and speed of Joshua Cephas, he's already looking to you as soon as the ball snaps. It's that simple. He's going to look at you. Whether you get the ball immediately or not, that just depends on whether you won the press. But, I mean, if he sees man press, like it's going to be the same thing with BTJ. If anywhere throughout the next season you see any defense stupid enough to one-on-one man press Brian Thomas Jr., Trevor Lawrence is looking at him as soon as the ball snaps. I guarantee it.
Okay.
I guarantee it. And it's the same thing with Cephas.
Oh, I'm getting excited, man. I'm getting excited. Okay. All right.
Well, I think that's a good place to end it off here. More wild, wacky predictions coming up here soon. I think we're going to try and get some too early 53 mans done here soon. Maybe we'll just work on one together. Want to thank everybody for coming out. Shout out Worm. I know you'll still be here. And let's close it on out, boys.
Duval!
Duval!
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
Subscribe.
Like us.